All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the first of our two-part discussion here. First part is going to be about our event over our time over at Crystal Mountain Ponycon, me and Blinked Mind, which actually happened over this weekend. Now, normally we would take up the entire discussion segment to talk about our trip over at a con, but this one has a special exception for one very specific reason. We got roped into watching a gaming room for the entire con, and it was interesting.
As
Hey,
some as someone who's been to a convention and more or less spent time in the gaming room as the majority time when not panels, yeah, it can get kind of interesting.
Well, let me put it to you like this. Now, some of you know from the earlier What's Up Bronies that I was approached to be the supervisor of the gaming room, which I decided to agree to because I figured it would be a new experience and I know a lot about games. I figured I could help them out.
mm,
So that's pretty much what I was going for. Now, I was assured I would be able to. There would be plenty of time to attend panels. We would have plenty of help. We'd have plenty of games lined up. We didn't have to worry about this, that, or the other. Everything was pretty much taken care of.
Before you continue that, I'm gonna follow that up
uh-oh.
with and about none of that was true.
And about shut up.
Mm, not
No, and about
entirely.
shut up.
That's
This
not.
is not your story, so shut up. Let the people who experience it talk.
Yeah.
So let's rewind this.
Hmm.
Portions of that attempted to be true. We
You
did
know.
actually have a lot of games. We had a fair amount of arcade games as well. But I'll let you get into that one, Josh.
Right. Well, let's take this one day at a time. First off, Thursday. Now, unfortunately was stuck at work and stuck at work all day because people don't. Yeah, it's the same complaints that I always have. It was busy. We didn't have enough people. I couldn't get out early, so I stuck to it to the end. Once I got home, we quickly finished packing up. We ate of breakfast burritos because I figured we would need our energy a little bit, which was probably the best decision I ever made.
It was a pretty good decision.
And we made our way down into the convention area that was half an hour away.
Mm-hmm.
After we got there, we got our hotel room. We took Monster Toy with us. If you look at our Twitter post, you can see that I posted here and there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to explore the area for a moment because we figured we weren't going to be setting up arcade machines and video game machines until about a few hours later, which was technically correct. So we checked out a Toys R Us. We went to a Barnes and Noble. I was about to ask them about the MLP book RPG and see if they had any copies, but then we suddenly got pulled away saying, "Okay, yeah, the arcades are here. Could you, we need help to unpack them." I go, "Okay, we're here. Let's go and do it." We get down there. Now the person who was arranging all of this wasn't there. Instead,
He
there
was
was
not present.
No, but there was a guy there. He was the one that was handling the transportation of the arcade
We'll
machines.
just
So
simply refer to him as Jay.
we shall refer to him as Jay. Nice guy though, really awesome guy. Though the
Pretty
funny
chill
thing
dude.
is,
He was quite happy that we knew what the hell we were doing when it came to working with the dolly and whatnot.
oh yeah. So we with Jay with meeting up with Jay, we started to unpack machines, which we got the regular smorgasbord of machines. You had your dancing machine, your rhythm machine, several older arcade machines, and also an emulation machine.
The emulation machine was special. We'll get back to this in a minute.
Well, also, yeah, we will get back to that. So we got them off of the truck, and we sat there for an hour because we had no clue what to do with these machines. We were not advised what the layout of the gaming room was going to be, and we were trying to get in contact with the person involved with very marginal success. Now, I'm
About, I'd say, 7 o'clock ish, we finally got a hold of some idea how we should set up the machines. And thank goodness for the convention center staff because they're helpful individuals that actually knew how to work with the arcade machines a bit.
Yeah, we never. Now, I have seen arcade machines, but that's about it. I've never assembled one. I've never attached them together, powered it on. None of that. So I literally had a crash course for that entire night after moving heavy machines on trying to hook them together and powering them on. So that was fun. But despite with the best of effort, we managed to move most of the machines into place into what we figured would be a good al- allocation of space. And unfortunately, about halfway through that, we lost Jay because we didn't know, we were still questioning some things.
Basically, he said to work the next day, and he didn't want to be stuck in the middle of Yahoo Land because he was going to leave the truck behind that he used to drive the arcade machines up. So he had to take a train back.
He wasn't exactly wrong about his assumptions, though.
No.
So no, we managed to get some arcades together. We kept trying to get in contact with a person. They didn't show up until about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night because now here's where I'm pretty much going to set the groundwork for everything else that's happening this weekend. Now this person has a lot on their plate. They are one of the con heads, but they're not the con head. But they were in charge of the printing of the badges, of the schedules, picking up people from the airport, getting things arranged in several different rooms. They also had several different panels, events, and to say that this person had a lot on their plate would be an understatement. But unfortunately, this is not a good thing to do at a con. You don't want to be in charge of everything because you can't get anything done. And that's pretty much exactly what happened here. Like I said, we didn't see hide nor hair of him until maybe about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And that's when we finally got some information about what was going on. Now, he didn't have a chance to get any of his consoles yet. So all we had were about 5 different arcade machines. 3 of them were functional. 1 of them was not functioning, a Metal Slug. And 2 of them weren't even hooked up yet because we had no clue if we should hook them up or how to hook them up entirely.
One of those being the rhythm game, and the second one being the DDR machine.
And also one of them was not functioning entirely with a control stick. So, we gave him a head...
That's the emulation machine.
The emulation machine was not functioning. Because apparently it has some glitches with how the controls were mapped. It was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, we set up a plan. We had an idea of what to do. Apparently they moved back the opening of the gaming room to 11. So
this is to the next day, by the way.
This is now.
The con didn't actually start. The con didn't actually start until Friday morning.
Well, technically,
they had opening things going up and startup things going on Thursday, but the rest of the actual place wasn't really going to be fully functional until Friday.
Well, nor could we actually be functional until Friday because we were just missing
I wouldn't even
everything.
Want to dare to consider how much we're missing. But yes. Friday rolls around.
So, yeah,
we get the rest of the... Friday rolls around. We get the consoles. We get televisions. And also prior to this, we didn't mention on Thursday, a fellow who was going to be managing a rock band came in, and we got that set up as well. And we helped him get that all set up and make sure everything was working. Well, we did that next morning. He came in with rock band, which thank God for that thing because that helped alleviate an issue that will be going on in a second. But a long story short, we got a bunch of consoles, a bunch of old consoles, a test PS2 apparently, which is a rare thing according to Josh.
Very rare.
And lo and behold, we got information on how to reset and fix the emulation machine and Metal Slug's issue, which is where the previous night it would start up for a few minutes and then the CRT would cut out. It stopped doing that and it worked 100% fine for the rest of the convention.
And around that time, we also finally got the idea of how to hook. We figured out we had to get the dance machine hooked up because we were not getting any information otherwise. So we just went, screw it, let's go.
And we got to work.
We got it to work. But unfortunately, there's wherein some problems lie. Now, we got everything set up. We were able to open up early, before 11. Or, yeah, I think we opened up a little bit early. I'm not sure. Did we?
Probably 10:30, if anything.
Nah, I'd say we opened up pretty close to 11. I think we got done with everything around 10:50.
Yeah, but we just wanted to make sure everything was working and have a chance to breathe ourselves before we opened up. Now, as I mentioned, we were told that we would have additional help. We were told that I would have people for shifts and that, I'd be able to attend panels and things like that. That never happened. The entire time we were there, we were pretty much stuck in the gaming room for the entirety of the con. We were able to get breaks because as we got a hold of everything and we realized what was and wasn't functioning, well, Yeah, we eventually fixed the emulator machine. They apparently was a reset button we were never advised of, which was nice. Which fixed most of it. It's not some of the programs didn't work still, regardless, but
More or less, the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo emulators were not matched for whatever reason. That's something that we couldn't have fixed ourselves. So
yeah. Unfortunately, we also got the dance machine going. However, apparently it had a short in the monitor, and it would cut out at random. Usually when
while
somebody
people were
was
playing
dancing
it,
on it. Yeah, usually when somebody was actually using it. So we kept
but
trying.
That's just called a challenge.
That's what I thought too. But I tried so
that's just
hard to get. I
It's fighting you.
I tried so hard to get that stupid machine to work. I've unplugged it, replugged it back in, checked all the cords 5 times over as best I could because I don't know how these things are hooked up entirely, and I'm working off of guesswork and my information on building computers, which actually did come in handy. But
yeah, basically that thing was more or less shot. It's just
by the end of the night, we considered it a lost cause.
And we tried it a little bit on Saturday morning, but after 2 or 3 crashes, we said it's just done for. We'll just unplug it. And like I said, luckily that the Rock Band fellow was there with his stuff, so that took off any any kind of complaints, any whining we could have heard from because they're playing Rock Band over there with Pony songs, and I'm number 1. So.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, during all of this, I didn't, the previous night I didn't sleep well. The night before I didn't sleep well, and I was burning the candle on both ends with how heavily. I'm sure Blanked was also feeling the same way, but we were exhausted. So all Friday, we were basically trying to stay with it for the most part.
Yep. I had to crash out early because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, he ended up crashing. I ended up having to watch the rest of the room by myself
for like an hour or so.
An hour and a half or so, but yeah, it wasn't a big deal, and I was able to get everything shut down. And I believe Deathlight actually was popped in during all of this.
Yeah. Now, then the next.
Yeah. Now here's the Now I'm getting back to it though. We did manage to organize ourselves a little bit enough so that we could give each other breaks when we absolutely needed to. And also, I was able to still make a run to the vendor hall.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get some pony swag, which I'm really happy for, because some stuff here I would have a very difficult time getting if it was ever possible again. First off, now, over at Bronycon last year, there was a person that does a lot of different card games, tarot cards, things like that. He had a special edition of the tarot cards. The entire set of tarot done in pony style, and there was only 70 of these ever created. And I thought they were already all sold out at BronyCon last year. So imagine my surprise when there was one sitting there ready to be bought. So I did manage to pick that up pretty much right off the bat. That was pretty awesome. Along with that, I also picked up a nice geode. This was actually a geode that came from my Little Ties.
Oh, I remember that dude. He did I believe he was doing a demo of like the VR setup for like Ponyville type thing.
Yep. He did. I think he still had that too, actually.
Anyhow,
it was fun.
Now,
it was.
Along with that, I also did keep my normal membership. Now, as I said, I was part of staff, but I also had a Flugelhorn pass, which is basically a second tier buy-in into Crystal Mountain because, for one thing, I didn't plan on being the staff at all at any point. And we had a few interesting run-ins with some of the other staff, which made us believe that our best interest was when we were on our breaks to not wear anything that identified us as staff at any point. I'm not sure if that was exactly a great move on our part, but it was a necessary move because we were the only ones that could handle the gaming room, and they basically threatened to take Blanked away to do anything else because he was technically volunteer staff, but he was only volunteer because I dragged him there. I was the reason Blanked was even there to begin with, to have help with the gaming room. Or else I would have or else a gaming room would have been just me the entire weekend.
So basically it was, you ain't taking my Blanky away from me. My Blanky, mine.
More or less, yes. I'm not lying.
Basically, it was boiled down to the point where it was like one of the concepts, basically literally in her words, where if he steps out of here, it belongs to me. It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Like,
wow.
trust me. Like, the words I wanted to say was next is that I really did want to say, "Go fuck yourself." Like,
I don't think I
literally,
would've
because
said-
like I don't care who you are, or whatever. It's like I'm here to do a specific thing, and by the looks of how this is being run, I'm not gonna let you make me abandon my friend to the fucking wolves. So you can go fuck
Yeah.
yourself. That's what I wanted to say.
I think actually,
But
I think
we were polite about it and smart, and
Short
nothing really
time
happened
to
with it.
chime in.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, I think, and I have done a lot of volunteer events before. I think I would have, as soon as they said that, I would have been say, okay, you can find somebody else to do this right now because I'm going to go enjoy my time around the con. There's not enough staff in this room. You can either let them stay here or you can find somebody else to do this.
As tempted as I would be to do that, my promise was to somebody else and not to her. He wasn't the one that tried to step on my toes. And I know he needed
That's
my
true.
help, especially with everything going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we basically, we avoided her at all costs, and we just made sure that we played our cards close to our chest. So it actually helped us in the long run, to be honest. But as I mentioned, I did get a chance to draw ponies. Actually, was there as well, and I got some awesome T-shirts out of him. Here's a Sidetwice shirt. And also we got staff shirts, which was kind of funny because we actually had to pay for our own staff shirts.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Not our own badges, but the staff shirts. I'll give them a little credit though. Apparently last year they had an overwhelming amount of staff. Considering that almost everybody I was seeing was wearing Crystal Mountain staff shirts from last year, I'm kind of inclined to believe that as well. But yeah, whoops, skipped ahead. Also, a nice little Applejack t-shirt here. I couldn't resist on that one. It's Hey Noon. And also, the Flugelhorn Pass came with a t-shirt of its own, so now I have a colored version of Crystal Mountain. And I also wanted to have something very special to remember Crystal Mountain, because even though this year was a little bit on the rough side, I've always had a lot of fun, and I really wanted to support the local con. So now I also have a Salt Lick plushie, who is the con mascot.
Mm-hmm.
And right now she's literally hanging on one of my monitors here. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty
That's
cheeky.
kind of one thing I like about pony conventions. We need a mascot.
Yep.
Actually, cool. Actually, cons do that quite a bit. Hell, Anime Week in Atlanta has a mascot.
Yeah, Anime Bonsai does too. Well, Bonsai has more of a symbol, but it's a very well recognized symbol. So yeah.
Essentially since like, I want to say since like AWA like 8.
Oh wow, Deathlight was driving for 5 hours. Jeez, gotta give him credit there.
Yeah, it's basically I think basically it's been like the same character, just redesigned every year.
And also, finally, I did pick up a few other things. They had a special Shipfic folder expansion pack based off of the... Well, they had a lot of Brony community guests, including Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill. You could see a lot of them. You could see a lot of them on the main site of the Crystal Mountain, and they had a Shipfic folder expansion pack based on all of them. So, yeah, the review pack. You can also see the pin I got. You can also see the pin I got for the Flugelhorn Pass, and also a surprise thing, Citra 360 was there. So I was able to get my 6 pony button collection early instead of having to wait for Ponycon, which is a standard that I always get from Citra every year from his booth.
And I wouldn't have said hi to him from D because I do that.
Yeah. But yeah, ponies and bubbles right there. But yeah, I did get a chance to hit up the vendor hall a little bit, which was pretty awesome. I did that twice, so I'm still a little annoyed because I didn't have a chance to really enjoy the vendor hall like I normally do. I had to run through it as quickly as I could, quickly grab a small snack to eat, and alleviate Blinked, because as I mentioned, we were the only 2 in the staff room, in the gaming room the entire time. And dinner was...
That being said, Red Robin was pretty damn good.
Yeah, we actually had... We did take out from Red Robin twice, and I ended up having to run for it while he watched the room, and we had to eat in the hotel too, because he had to eat in the hotel room, because we couldn't bring in outside food or drink. which was which is an understandable rule. So yeah, the Friday was an exhausting day, but we managed to eventually shut everything down, and I went to sleep, and all that was said and done. Saturday, we get back up, we get down in there, we start up everything up, we open up. Everything is actually pretty much like clockwork. It was simple, it was easy, it was clean. I found out our hotel has a breakfast buffet. That was beautiful. Actually, it was nice.
It made a happy second happy.
Because we had to make a run to a Carl's Jr. that was about a block away, or it was a fair distance away.
It was a fair distance. It wasn't the worst thing to get to.
It wasn't the worst, but the coffee was pretty much like riding a canoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's an inch away from water.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
The Hardy's Carl's Jr. coffee. Yeah, I don't care for it either.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I've heard a different version of that
I'm
joke.
surprised Second isn't addicted to coffee with how much stuff goes down.
Yeah. In any case, we get in there for a Saturday. We're a little bit more energized this time because we had a better chance to rest, which is a good thing. Because Saturday,
and we didn't have to move around. We'd have to move around heavy as hell shit.
Yeah. Saturday was an interesting experience. We were there for the entire time. We had to deal with a lot of craziness, including parents leaving their kids, and these kids being very bratty.
Brats.
Yeah, brats. Basically, they used our gaming room as a freaking daycare, which pissed me off to no end. But
Pissed us both off to no end because, granted, we did mess with them in one way or another. Like they tried bringing drinks in, and we said, "Nope, you're dumping those out."
Well, that and the fact is we had a coffee spill the day prior, which luckily didn't affect anything. But yeah, I'm not letting 8-year-old kids with freaking Slurpees and sodas and very flimsy paper cups near freaking 20-year-old gaming systems that are a pill to replace. No.
Most cons don't. I know Anna Maritime's up this way. Actually, you're not allowed to take your bags in even.
We're okay with the bags, and we were really careful about the games. We pretty much kept them right next to us, which didn't stop some kids from literally going under our table and start pulling out the boxes because
they tried. We told them to stop immediately if they don't want to be kicked out.
Yeah, it's also a good reason why we kept the games and everything really close to us. But despite all of that, we did manage to get through again. We were hoping to actually enjoy, sit down and eat instead of running to Red Robin again, but that didn't quite happen. Mostly because they were able to get somebody to help watch the place, but they didn't want to watch the place. They want to go on a food run, which
doesn't work out.
It doesn't help. We can't bring food in. We couldn't bring food in. They couldn't stay and watch, so we could go get food. I mean, it was a mess, to be honest.
Like that's what they kept. Every time it just kept turning into an offer to go run for food. Like, no, that's not how this is going to work. They're not going to let us get the food in.
Yeah, so that after that insanity happened, eventually it got close to closing time. Of course, Jay also came in too because he needed to take the arcade machines back at the end of the night.
He actually came in and joined us around 3 o'clock or so. So hey, we had a person who was also sane watching things with us. So
yeah,
he wasn't there to watch, but he did help keep an eye on things.
Which was nice. He wasn't part of the con staff though, so we couldn't do much other than just watch, but it still helped. But yeah, we got through the night. We managed to get everything going okay. We tortured people with Friday the 13th and also Hide Lied because that apparently was one of the games in there. Go figure.
It was. I pranked a couple of people with that quite meanly.
And it was pretty hilarious every time when I walked by with Friday the 13th in there, and you can see 5 camp counselors are already dead. And they're just sitting on one, and it's just like, okay, yeah, you can obviously tell they gave up at that point. Anyway,
from what I hear, Friday the 13th is a good game if you're into the just role play and have fun with it instead of be like,
NES.
Ooh, this is a
NES
game.
Friday.
The NES version.
We didn't have any new consoles available. The newest one there was the Xbox that the fellow was playing Rock Band off of.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 2 we had was the test build PlayStation.
It was actually a test console, so it could actually play a lot of things it really shouldn't be able to. But along with that, it also means that we had a hard time finding discs that we could actually use that looked correctly on the TV. There was a few that had a weird green thing across the bottom half, but no, apparently taiko drums were incredibly popular. Go figure. That was the one thing everybody was playing.
The
freaking
two things that we played on there was Beatmania and the Taiko Drum Master, and that poor thing I wore the hell out. I'm pretty damn sure.
Yeah.
And the dumber thing is that those same bratty kids, one of them was trying to was looking around trying to fish for a controller. Another thing that got him in trouble was almost made us to the point where we said we're going to kick you out at this point.
No.
So basically, one of the saving graces was that with all the stuff they did bring us, they forgot to bring 2 PS2 controllers.
Yeah, they actually didn't get a single PS2 controller the entire time, so we had to work on peripheral games, which luckily they had peripherals, they just didn't have controllers. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we ended up but long story short, we got through too late. We got through the entire night. It became close-up time, and we were fine. We were able to close up the arcade room. We started to drag out machines a little bit here and there as it was going, because the dance machine was a total loss, and that was
the first one that they disassembled. Basically, how it went was that I stayed behind and watched the room and started packing up the consoles, while Josh and Jay I handled taking out the machines to the truck, which was still parked out back with the door open. One door wasn't open; it was still parked out back in the loading bay.
But yeah, we slowly got arcades out until basically everybody vacated, then shut it down altogether. Got everything out. We got everything unhooked, and unfortunately this is when trouble struck again. We couldn't get all the electronic TVs, systems and everything into dollies because they all vanished.
We found the smaller dolly, which I was able to Tetris my way into getting all the bags and boxes and other various things that pertain to the consoles on.
But not the 4 TVs.
We didn't have the 4 TVs, which would require a regular dolly cart with a full flat bed. Because TV stands.
Now, the person that owns all of this, he told me, just let me know when it's done. I'll make arrangements to grab the stuff. And so we started getting everything packed. I let him know we should be ready in about 15 minutes. And so
20 minutes go by.
I set Blink on his way after we finished getting everything packed up, because all we had to do now is wait, and I was the only one that could really get in contact with him. And wait I did. For 2 hours.
I left around 10:15 or so.
I was sitting in a room all by myself listening to Summer Games Done Quickly for over 2 hours, waiting for any kind of response. Just just basically waiting for anything, because I couldn't leave the stuff alone, or else the convention staff might
throw it out.
Well, not throw it out, but reclaim it, or we wouldn't be able to get back to it, because they locked the doors and everything. It was one way out, and I had to be there to open the doors. And it also didn't help that apparently somebody donated a bunch of tabletop games, to board games that I also had to keep a bit of an eye on too, because they belonged to somebody else, and I didn't know who. Obviously I had to wait for the person involved in all of this to get in contact with them as well. So yeah, I had to watch all of that until well after midnight, when everything was closed, even the dancing was done. So 2 hours I'm listening to thuds of music going on, and I can't even from a dance party that I can't even attend to. When everything is shut down and the entire con is officially closed by all intents and purposes, that is when I finally get in contact with him. That is when I finally get everything packed up. That is when I go after I go up to our hotel room, drop off Twilight and a backpack of stuff, I go down to a bar and I enjoy several different mixed drinks that are pony themed. By the way, they were actually pretty good. I really like the Twilight Sparkle.
By the way, this is before he does that. This after he leaves the room, says, "Don't pray for me. I'm already dead." And like, oh god damn it, Josh. Yeah. Probably fell back to sleep.
Yeah. I'm not kidding on all of this, though. No. So, yeah, we got all of that packed together. We finally got to sleep. Sunday is when everything hit. 2 days of 12 plus hours of work, heavy lifting every single day, and also, very little time to rest, and all of this on our heads. Sunday, we were pretty much exhausted. We did
more so than myself, but
yeah. But we got our breakfast together. We got our stuff packed up. We got home, and I pretty much laid around for the majority of the day, aside from Well, no, the grocery
His
shopping
ass
was
was
early.
passed out on the couch.
Yeah, which luckily they didn't take pictures because I was in a compromising position.
Were you snuggling your Twilight plushie?
No.
No, he wasn't actually.
Nope.
There's
that's
a
not the one
follow
who
up
was
to
getting
this
the
joke,
pictures.
but I'm not going to say it. So, anyways.
Fair enough. Now, I want to rewind back on all of this. Now the fact is, it was still a fun con. I saw a lot of people were enjoying themselves. I wish I could have enjoyed myself too, but this was a big lesson for me as well. I learned, one, to make sure I have the support promised, two, to know exactly what I'm getting into the next time, if there's the next time this happens, and three, basically, and now I know how to put arcade machines together, which is pretty awesome in all honesty. I always wanted to know how to do that.
And 4, if this happens again, get more friends.
4, this is not going to happen again.
Oh, no.
Basically, me and him said his thing. If we ever get invited to do something like this again, the rule is either going to be we're going to have either 3 to 6 volunteers. If that's not guaranteed, we ain't doing it because we ain't doing that again.
Yeah,
because
for that one.
like my goal at a convention is typically hang out with friends and have fun. So in my terms of ways, I got that part. Me and Josh get to hang around and just shoot the shit while we're watching all these people be idiots, which is fine by me. But this poor lad didn't get to do a damn thing that he wanted to do for the convention.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, it was really
his
how you do it
his
for the
plans were
volunteers.
entirely shat on.
But, like I said, it wasn't all bad altogether, and despite what happened to me, everybody had a lot of fun. And, I'm glad I was able to at least try to contribute to that, though, yeah, I will not go in this blindly ever again. So this...
That being said, that we were given props for being as self-sufficient as we were.
Yeah. That basically we were probably one of the few people that they didn't need to monitor left and right, and the fact is that the gaming room ran pretty flawlessly, which, considering it's our first time ever running anything like that, I'd say that's a pretty good big deal on our part. But on another note, there is one thing I do want to mention, and this is surprising, and it's also a bit of a self-promo here. Apparently there's a person that is trying to revive Las Pegasus.
You mean the con that almost killed the fandom?
Yeah, well, not
I
almost
don't
killed the
know, I don't know,
fandom, but the con that did a lot of damage, yes.
Yeah.
This one is actually a little bit different, apparently. They already paid for the hotel and everything. It's already been paid for. At this point, they're trying to sell the rooms and everything and actually sell the idea of the con, and it is going to happen regardless of anything that happens at this point. So I'm actually kind of excited, and I might attend it. It's not until next year, though, but yeah, geez, let's see, what are they calling it? Dual Pegasus? No, that's not right. HRPC.
I was gonna say they're probably not at Las Vegas or something.
High roller Ponycon, I think.
Oh yeah, High Roller Ponycon. Yeah, that makes perfect sense now that I think about it. High Roller Ponycon.
Actually, that's a better name than Las Vegas.
I think
I
that's
know.
what it is. I'm not sure. It seems
you know-
like when you have HR and you're going to a casino, you're going to Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, people.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you're right on the money there. High Roller Ponycon. There it is, right there.
Not cool. I called it.
Yep. 2-day event in Las Vegas in June of next year, apparently. So, yeah, that's something that might be interesting to look forward to in the near future. But, yeah, Crystal Mountain, though, it was a pretty amazing 5th year. I'm pretty sure it would have been more awesome if I actually got to see any of it outside of the gaming room. But at least we ran a pretty damn mean gaming room, and that it met a lot of expectations. A lot of people had fun. And in all honesty,
I played Star Fox as I typically do whenever it's up.
And we managed to keep it pretty well occupied and enjoyable until the very end of the con, which speaks volumes of itself.
By the way, for anybody who's wondering, the games that we had were Technica 3, Altered Beast. The DDR game was what?
It was
Step It up. Pomp or some Step It Up. I think is what it was.
It was Step It Up. It was the one with the
Golden-
corner steps instead of the middle, the left, right. Yeah.
Yeah, the corner steps. You had say Golden Axe,
Pump it up,
Revenge
pump it
of,
up.
yeah, Revenge of the Black Adder or some shit like that. Metal Slug 3, and then of course you had the Raw Machine.
Of course, immediately he says Revenge of the Blackadder. I'm thinking Rowan Atkinson.
Well, we know
I
who we're
will come
thinking
back
of.
for you.